All right, I'm here with Peach Keen, and we are looking at the Sea of Thieves developer update for January 2025. Go ahead and get it started. Here we go.
Hey everyone, the holidays are over, the decorations are all packed away, and we're back, ready and raring to go. As we look to the year ahead, I feel it's important that we
What?
Get it? Raring?
Raring, yeah. Raring. It's good. It's good, Drew. I bet he's proud of that one.
reflect on the challenges.
I like that he looks like a pirate that you could maybe get in the game.
He does. He absolutely probably is the...
I mean, I feel like they had to have designed at least one model after him.
Yeah, probably.
Like all of the devs or something have like one pirate model that looks like them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
You'd hope.
I mean, I would hope. All right, here we go.
That we've been facing, ensuring that we focus in the right areas as we move forwards. I know as a team it can feel sometimes overwhelming, trying to balance our goals and ambitions with the various requests and feedback we see from our players. And that's such a wide net. From revisiting areas like guilds and hourglass, cracking down on cheaters, improving performance.
Did you get that one? Cracking down.
Oh!
Or focusing efforts on bug fixing and quality of life, just to name a few. Right now, however, we're focusing in 3 priority areas.
3
Game performance,
Okay, good.
game security,
Yep.
and player safety. And
I feel like we've been talking about this for 6 months. Because it's been, what, like 3 or 4 months since we did the... Maybe even longer, since we did the easy anti-cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time. So the fact that we're still talking about this is troublesome.
of course, we're still working on content and live events and servicing the Emporium and fixing bugs. But our focus areas are very much in improving game health. Now, let's kick off with some updates about game performance.
Let's do it.
We've had folks from across the team diverted to a targeted performance bash with the goal of making meaningful improvements to game performance.
Okay.
The team has been split, with some focusing on the big, more broader changes to how systems work behind the scenes, while others have been investigating known problem areas reported by players for more targeted optimization. We're making big changes in some pretty fundamental areas, and while we're going to be doing our best to ensure quality internally and then with insiders, we expect the scale and play behaviour of the live environment to potentially surface follow-up work for us to tackle. I know some of our recent work hasn't been a shining example of us hitting our quality bar, but some of these performance changes I'd consider more experimental and certainly bring higher risk. I feel convicted though that these are the right changes we should be making to make some serious improvements to game performance, even if we have to accept somewhat of a rocky time ahead. In our January update later this week.
Accept a rockier time ahead. I kind of feel like we've been pretty rocky, yeah?
No, I mean, you wanted to... I was going to say a piece while we were watching this before you wanted to, like, record it. And so I guess I don't know if I should wait until, like, the video, like, until, like, he's done with his spiel and we can kind of, like, evaluate and stuff. But I don't know if it's such a fair evaluation to attack Rare and say that they've had, like, huge issues, because I've been playing another game that has seasons with a lot of updates and stuff like that, and I can tell you there is a marked difference between how they address performance issues, lingering performance issues, among other things. And I mean, in my opinion, I don't feel that Rare is doing a poor job of trying to address these issues.
I guess it's fair.
But
It really seems like we're treading the same ground over and over and over and over and over again. But
how do you in like what sense?
Well, I mean, we brought in easy anti-cheat, and we brought in the fact that allegedly we were doing bug fixes and hit reg and all that stuff. All that stuff has been on the docket for months and months and months. They have been talking about ways to ban players and have them not come back, because that's the safety thing that they're going to talk about here in a little bit, where people aren't feeling safe, which I get it. I mean, it's an internet game. People don't feel safe necessarily, but at the same time, if you're going to talk about it, come up with solutions. And just up until this point, he is saying a lot of words and not giving a lot of details on like what they're actually trying to do, if that makes sense.
I mean, he already said that they're having a bash, right? Which is essentially like a bug bash. And so they kind of like are, and it sounds like, well, I think one of the biggest challenges is that they're continuously trying to pump out new content.
Sure.
And in trying to meet those like commitments, there's the challenges of this new content brings along with it like issues. And because it's like going live so quickly, they don't have the benefit of like, all of this play testing that's already been done.
Sure.
I guess, and so I don't know that it's not like they haven't done anything, right? They introduced an anti-cheat thing to try and see if that would help.
Sure.
And it's not fair to just be like it would be silly for them to use it for a month and be like, well, now it's definitely not working. It's like, it's not working. We're going to do something else. I would think that they would need a longer amount of time to evaluate whether or not it's made a meaningful impact.
Well, that's fair. Well, and one thing they just did talk about is the fact that when they do things in Insider, it really doesn't help them do any type of testing for what's going to happen in live, just because it's such a different population. But I don't know. Maybe their changes to Insiders are going to change the number of people that jump on. Although I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I guess my challenge to you and to some people who are like frustrated is, at least, I mean, Rare is releasing these videos and they're talking about these things, and they they know that they're here, and you can tell that they're actually like fixing them. And while there's certain issues that like I know with like the mimic darts that we haven't seen come out as promised, I mean, realistically, like the 4 different types of darts is already such a huge change to game dynamics, right? But they didn't just release the darts. There was like disguises and that stuff. They had to roll it back, figure out what the issues were for that. But I feel like they still, like, the turnaround on finding the fix for that and getting that back out was pretty quick. I feel that Rare needs to get its flowers for its responsiveness, because I don't know that other companies care this much.
No, that's fair.
Care this much to. Oh, sorry.
No. I don't disagree with you. I mean, I don't think that there are a lot of other companies that care this much. I just, when they throw you a couple shillings and it's like, here's a free emote for the month. Be happy. I'm not happy. There's still some stuff I'd like to see them do. And, I'll put it like this. I agree with you about the mimic dart. It's like, yeah, but you already got 4 other darts. 4 other darts that nobody asked for. I'm not saying I don't like the blowpipe darts. I like them, like being able to deal with golden skeletons now is pretty fantastic. But if you had said, we can either give you a new weapon type, or we're going to give you a new adventure or a new, something else, just something else to do in the game, I think that more people would be apt to do the doing as opposed to the blowpiping. Is all I'm saying.
Also, how old is this game?
How old is this game? 2018, I think.
Yeah, so it's no spring chicken.
Sure.
And I feel like some of the issues that I think we are going to run into as gamers of what we want from the game are that, like, Rare is going to be faced with limitations of, like, where maybe that is just why we're going to have a Sea of Thieves too.
Sure.
Because I think that, like, while the map is pretty expansive, like, I don't go to the Devil's Roar ever, or like the Ashen Reaches or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole section of the map that they essentially created that they also made pretty difficult to be in. Then they've but there's like certain they've alluded to like this whole like winter, like frozen kind of thing, but then I guess there's limitations with the map that they already have. And so, I guess how much of it is, are we expecting them to do too much with
the current
Sea
engine?
of Thieves? Yeah. And that there is, like at some point we're going to have to just understand that they can't deliver on everything.
Sure.
And I'd say that knowing how that, like, without me like not having the benefit of having played the game when it originally came out, just hearing bits and pieces of what it was like at release and how far it's come, I have a hard time really holding them in a really critical light, because I feel that they have.
Well, here's my comeback to that, and the comeback is I'm playing the game, right? Like, I don't play Call of Duty because I don't like the way that the developers treat the players. I don't play a lot of games because I don't like the way that the developers treat the players. So the fact that I'm here means that I do at least somewhat respect the way that they're handling the player base. Because, yeah, they are. Now, they might not be doing the number of podcasts that they used to and all the other things that the content creators are upset about. But, yeah, I don't know. They respond. I mean, the fact that we're looking at a 6-minute video right now on the 21st of January, I mean, kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'll just throw out there that I've been, I think I'm winding up playing Fallout 76 just because at this point there's certain
committed.
I know. But there are certain things that I'm doing, like, it wasn't, so this not recent season, but the last season, they also had issues rolling out the new feature that was supposed to accompany the season. It was supposed to be caravans with the Milepost Zero update, and that they did not have caravans upon the season's release because something was messed up. And I can tell you, as somebody who is now participating in the caravans, even though we're in a new season, that whole mechanic is still bugged. Like, if I hadn't paid for Fallout First to test it out for a month and wasn't able to have a private server to try and progress a quest on, I would not have been able to do the new season's entire quest line because it was bugged.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is outrageous to me. And from what I understand, when I go to Bethesda's site, all they say is, we know it's an issue and it'll get fixed in the next update. And then it doesn't. And that's all we get. And so, granted, I'm not plugged into Bethesda like you're plugged into like this stuff with Rare, but I mean, this feels like they're talking to me as a player that they know that I care about the game, and they know they want to improve my gaming experience.
Yeah.
Whereas
no,
I don't
fair.
believe that with Bethesda, if that makes sense. They're not interested in improving my gaming experience.
They're not. They're interested in improving their monetization scheme. So yeah,
right.
100%.
Right. So yeah, sorry. We'll let
Drew keep going. Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
We're targeting our first wave of improvements. The two big changes here are trinkets and networking.
Oh.
Trinkets are...
I love trinkets so much.
So this is going to be huge because I can tell you one thing that I know about the game, and that's that trinkets actually were a huge performance sink for the game.
Oh, really?
Well, think about it, because it's just like the Diablo 4 thing where it's like, well, we can't give you more inventory because every time you see somebody, your computer has to load their entire inventory. And that's exactly what's going on with the boat, because before you didn't have to attach anything else to a pirate. You were just the pirate. Now you're the pirate, the boat, the trinkets, all the other stuff. So
yeah, well, which is why I would feel that base building is another, like, that would be really complex to try and accommodate.
Well, being a not programmer, I mean, I would really just see that as a way of, again, kind of like Monkey Island, but a way to connect to the server. Like, one of the things that people get really super mad about is you have to click 137 times to sail, right? So what if you changed all those different interfaces into just like kind of a load screen type game where the load screen is your base. So like you're on a private server up until that point, and then you jump off and connect to other pirates, and that's how you then enter into the world. Like you would, instead of waking up at a bar, you would come through the arches.
Okay.
Does that? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how difficult that would be, obviously, but
no, right, and I think that's something that I also like that I know we're like really not that far into this video, but I want to address where he said that is the hardest balance, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they didn't release a game that they're just maintaining in the state of release, right? They are trying to juggle
making it better,
like constantly making engaging, enjoyable content, but also addressing issues that players have with like gameplay and all that other kind of stuff. And so, I mean, it is a lot. And I think that as consumers, not just as gamers, but as consumers, we do have to acknowledge like limitations, right? And that, like they're not omniscient.
Nope.
They don't have the ability to do like, and given what they have and what they've made, I love, like I said, like I've talked a lot about how I love that they don't rely on these like high-end, super detailed graphics, because I honestly don't know how the game would benefit from that, right?
No, it definitely wouldn't.
Like having, I mean, it would be, really difficult to run, but it's like having this like really big, beautiful, I mean, like I still feel like I still get this like beautiful sense of wonder, like when we were all sitting up on what was it, in Mermaids? No, at one of those areas, like the one where you go in and it's like the horseshoe shaped island.
Crescent.
Where we took that. Yeah,
oh no,
not
You're
Crescent.
talking about the one north of it. Thieves.
Is it Mermaid's Hideaway?
Thieves Hideaway or Thieves Haven.
Something like that.
Not the one on south, but the one up north. I know what you were talking about.
Yeah. We took that really majestic picture where, you're like overseeing stuff. And I mean, I don't feel that you lose majesty and lose that sense of wonder just because the graphics aren't like Unreal Engine 1000.
No, well, and I know this is going to sound funny, but like the mechanic of holes in your ship, just the fact that it's not realistic. They created like modular damage to the vessel, and that's how how it works. Because if it was realistic and you could put a hole anywhere, I mean, it totally changes the game. The way that they did it with it stylized, you can have a lot more strategy behind that. But no, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, let's see what.
So yeah, sorry, we'll let you talk, Drew.
Here we go.
They've gone under the magnifying glass, and both their setup and how they're loaded when approaching a captain's ship has been improved. This change is going after the hitch you feel when approaching a captain's ship on the horizon, and now smooths out the loading of trinkets. Next up is a networking optimization that isn't strictly a performance improvement, but it will feel like one. In the scenario where the game is sent a large amount of data from the server, the movement of...
Wait, you mean like 4 people on a boat and a double or triple stack of Fort of the Damned, plus flags, plus all of your food, all of your cannonballs. It seems like a pretty big data dump.
Yeah.
The player and their ship is now prioritized in that traffic. This will target a number of scenarios where the game would appear to stutter, like when approaching another ship, or when a player returns from the Ferry of the Damned. Alongside these 2 improvements, there's also a number of smaller optimizations all rolling into our January update. Now, that's just the first wave. We've got plenty of other work still in flight, targeting the next few updates as we step further into the year. Ships are a big focus, with the increase in server migration from diving to voyages and hourglass. There's work going on to break up our ships so that we can load them in stages when joining a server. Treasure is another focus area. With the gradual expansion of new treasure types and more loot hoarding, we need to optimize and more efficiently clean up lost treasure. We're then also going to be making optimizations to better utilize the server hardware we have available through Azure by multi-threading our servers to do more for us, and be more resilient to the demands of our players. All
Okay.
of this work is going on behind the scenes, and we'll share more on our release plans when we're a little bit closer. Now, let's move on to game security and player safety. We've unfortunately continued to see cheat reports flowing in over the holidays, showcasing a range of malicious behaviour. While I've already shared that we've got a large focus on game performance, we've also continued our investment in game security. We'll also be growing this part of the team early this year so we can do even more in this space.
Growing the team. I like to hear that.
I mean, it does sound like they're prioritizing what, that's like what you want to hear.
Yeah, no,
If they recognize that it's an issue, then they do absolutely need to grow that team, as opposed to be like the same 2 kids are going to be working day and night.
But the point is that they're growing the team, which means that they're not in maintenance mode, which is the big takeaway. We're still pushing, so that's good.
Priorities here are mitigating the various teleports, commodity exploits, and then securing our in-game shops from players purchasing items they shouldn't. I know this only scratches the surface of what's been reported, and if I haven't listed your biggest annoyance, don't worry, they're all on the list. On the player safety side, our first wave of ban evasion work had positive results over the holidays, and we'll continue to roll out further work in waves over time. As a reminder, this isn't a one and done situation here. We're going to build our defences over time and keep the work that we're doing here a little elusive. And finally, before I let you get back to whatever you were doing before you hit play, I wanted to share a little update on Safer Seas. In December, we made some changes to better focus this mode as the best way to learn the ropes for new players. While it's still early doors here, we're pleased to see how this mode has been used over the holiday period, with Safer Seas seeing more playtime as a result of our changes.
That's cool.
We're specifically seeing players with under 30 hours of game time spend much more time in Safer Seas with the improved rewards now on offer. We'll continue to monitor how this goes over time, but we're real happy with what we're seeing so far. Well, I know that we've deep dived into some techie stuff.
Deep dived? Come on, Drew.
There. I hope that's blown away the cobwebs for you all. I also haven't gone into the specifics of what's arriving in our update later this week, so stay tuned for the patch notes for all the juicy details. Well, that's me signing off. Catch you all next time.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
And thank you.
Oh, are we done?
I mean...
Oh, I didn't know if you had any...
We can keep talking.
Parting thoughts. Oh yeah, I don't know if you had any parting thoughts.
I mean, I'm still excited. Still excited to see what they got coming up in the future. I don't really know that I care about the Mimic Dart.
Well, let's look at that first comment. It says, no, I get that exploits need to be fixed, but it's not somebody with 100 pineapples ruining my experience. It's the person aimbotting and teleporting kegs onto my ladder that is ruining my experience.
100%. I don't have any issues whatsoever with buying a lot of supplies. Yep, no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the way to solve that exploit is to just make it so you can just continuously buy supplies. I don't see what the issue is with that. I mean, I know they want you to go out and buy stuff from the islands and stuff, but I have gold. Let me spend it, please.
Yeah.
Please.
No, they're like, yeah, that's yeah. It's not the people that have like a bunch of resources, because it's still like they have to be able to use those resources, and as we've experienced in Hourglass, like we can be stocked to the gills on resources and then get sunk in that first battle, and what the fuck did it matter? Not at all.
Nope. Well, that's the point. I mean, not those people that are the problem, it's people teleporting kegs. So yeah.
I mean, I guess we're very fortunate then. What's interesting to me is from our gaming experience that we've had, I don't know that we've had a lot of issues with cheaters.
I don't think we have. I think we've run into a couple here and there, but I mean, at the same time, it's also really difficult to tell because there's so many types of cheats.
Yeah, and I guess because like I feel like we do a decent amount of PvP and stuff like that, but I don't know what it would look like to see cheaters. I guess until I see
a lot of teleporting. There's a lot of
Okay, so I think
teleporting.
Mongoose said that he's seen that a
Hmm.
bit.
And
Um,
we've seen it a few times, but we've also typically been able to overcome the cheaters just by sheer willpower.
mhm. Well, that's good. I mean, I guess it's interesting to know that other people have that big of an issue with it. They must be doing a lot of hourglass. That's all I can think.
Well, I think all that stuff's going to be pretty valuable. They can fix the lag issues and everything from all the diving that's going on. Like that's been a huge issue because there's been a whole lot more diving than
Yeah.
ever before. So maybe with that fix, maybe hit regs on the mend, and we won't be too far off. So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Exciting times.
I remember it was the Safer Seas thing. I think the update that they did to Safer Seas was the smartest thing ever.
Hmm.
I think that's like the best way to get somebody like because you I mean yeah the thing is it's you want people to be able to feel comfortable enough to sail, but you're not giving them that opportunity if you just send them right out to the wolves. And I know, personally, remember for me it was really difficult those first couple times getting sunk.
Hmm.
And so getting used to understanding like sailing, turning in loot, and then how it's not that big of a deal to like lose loot and stuff like that.
It's
I
really
think
not. There's more loot out there. It's a,
right. Well, I think Safer Seas gets you. I mean, that's what the benefit of like Safer Seas being able to just play to understand the mechanics of sailing, the islands, everything else like that, and then having that extra layer of PvP added into it. I think is
yeah, that makes
makes
sense.
sense to me, and I think it was a smart choice on their part.
Well, I like it because you still can't bring your captain boats on there, and it gives you a safe space to earn money until you can get your captain boat.
Hmm.
And the biggest problem with not having a captain vessel is the fact that you can't use sovereign. So
Mm-hmm.
when you are most vulnerable as a swabby is when you're selling stuff, and
Yep.
there's no way around that. So at least with this change, getting 250k gold is not that bad. I mean, it seems like it's a million miles away the first time you log in, but it's not that bad.
Right.
And if you get 100% gold out of safer seas, you can get that boat, and then when you log on, you'll have your first boat. So yeah, I think it's a good
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
And it
Same.
also is good to hear that they're actually seeing that people under 30 hours are spending more time in safer seas.
Yeah, well, that they like, yeah, it sounds like when they first released Safer Seas, it didn't have the like people weren't using it, and they were like, oh fuck. And so, I mean, yeah, they changed it so that it makes sense to use for people,
Yep.
So
Well, that's all I
I'm
needed.
glad that it had the intended impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited for next season though. Hunter's Call. I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't, like I think it's what makes Sea of Thieves so enjoyable. It's a PvP PvE game. There's like I before really playing more hardcore with you guys and doing actual voyages. If I play solo, I just really enjoy island hopping,
Yeah.
and I don't think people should judge people who aren't in it to get like ghost curse and stuff like that, because the game facilitates you being able to do other things. So
Oh,
like
100%. Well,
you're
and the difference between those things is vastly different. Like people are there for PvP, and those people, it's a pretty small percentage of the players, but it's just as small a percentage of players that are level 50 in Hunter's Call.
yeah, yeah,
And that group has their own set of cosmetics. Are they as cool as the Ghost Curse? I don't know. Some people think so. I don't, but we'll see
we'll
what they
see.
add in with the new Hunter Call update, because assuredly they're going to add in some new cosmetics for it, right? New ship sets and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean they have to. Well, and I also feel like I like what that it's important to emphasize that there's not one right way to play Sea of Thieves. I feel that what makes it such a good game is that you don't have to be you don't have to be a sweat that's going out and like sinking everybody. You can be like the bass fisherman. You can be the island hopper. You can be the straight up sweaty pirate. There's a lot of options for you and how you want to play the game, and
Hmm.
it doesn't push you to have to do it one way or another.
Nope.
You know, there's like they offer so many commendations, and the commendations are great because I think they force you to play the game in ways that you might not play it. Like some people might be used to playing like the game a certain way, so getting a certain set of commendations for them is really easy, but then they have to step outside of their play style in order to unlock other commendations, and maybe they will and find fun in that, or maybe they won't, you know. And I think that it's
I
really
kind of hope.
cool that they facilitate that in this game.
I kind of hope, and you may or may not have seen it. They introduced the, what do they call it? The Compass of Chaos on the Sea of Thieves website. Have you seen that? Hold on. So they've got the... Where is it? I know they have it. Well, I thought I would just be able to find it, but maybe I can't. Anyways, it's this thing called the Compass of Chaos, and the point is that it will give you like missions to go out and do.
Oh, here, yeah, like close really quick because I think maybe there was.
Where is it?
Why did you go back? Keep going down. Is it? Oh no, I guess I didn't see it. Because there's that. Down. There's community resource. Get a helping hand from friends at Rare Thief. No, that's not it.
No, that's not it. I'll find a link and put it in the description of the video. But yeah, this thing. Let me try. Hold on. Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
Compass of Chaos. Need inspiration for your next adventure? The Compass of Chaos spins up suggestions for things that you and your crew could get up to right now. And they're not great, but what I hope they do is I hope they actually like link it to your pirate, and then it looks at like what you've done and gives you suggestions based on that. I think that would be cool.
I mean, they kind of have something like that already on the voyages table, don't they? I think that's like you can do a random voyage.
You can.
Oh, this is... Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Okay, so it's literally just random, like, weird shit to do. I thought it was, like, in-game. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
So, I mean, yeah, maybe we need to do Needs More Bell next time.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, actually. That's a good one. So, yeah, that's it. You know, it's stuff like that they put in that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, and, like, they keep having these videos with, like, real people and stuff, right? And so, I don't know. I think that builds a certain level of like trust with us as
100%.
So like I said, I'm not as heavy-handed, judgmental, but I don't play as many games, and so.
Well, I think the fact that Drew's still around, I mean, like you can tell that he cares. Mm-hmm. A lot of the rare people care.
Well, did you see the tattoo on the back of one of his hands is like literally, the pirate skull compass rose from like one of the maps or something.
I'll believe it.
Yeah, so he absolutely has like a Sea of Thieves tattoo. So
I'll believe it. Maybe someday I'll get that Sea of Thieves pirate legend tattoo. Not going to, but maybe.
No, you won't.
But I won't.
Yeah, I was like, why say maybe when you know it's never going to happen? That's just silly.
I mean, you never know. It's not going to happen though. All right, well, thanks for checking out the January updates. And we'll see you on the seas on Sunday. Later.
Tonight.
Oh, yeah, tonight too. We got Tall Tales. So, yep. Catch you guys soon.
Adios.